I'm going to show you how to do a brake job on a Toyota pickup. My last video didn't turn out too well, so I'm going to go through the brake pad change and the rotor change. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a pretty simple job, don't take very long. You only need very few basic tools. The only special tool you really need is this 54mm socket if you're changing the rotor out. If you're doing just the pad, take this thing out, pull your 2 pins out, and then your brake pads will slide out, which I'll show you how to do all that towards the end of the video after we swap this rotor out. First thing you need to do is just take your lockout off. 10mm bolts, 6 of them. And even if you ain't gonna put a new rotor on, now's a good time to check your wheel bearing, repack it, and check for any movement in it. You might need to tighten it up. Next, take your adapter off. It's gonna be 12mm. Take your 12mm bolt out of the center. And it'll slide off. See how loose mine is? So I said it's worth checking it while you're doing your brakes anyway, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be loose. We're going to take your 54mm socket. Take your jam nut off. Take your locking ring off. And when we go back together, you gotta bend these tabs back over your nut to keep it from coming loose. But look how loose this thing is. It's a good thing I'm checking it, taking the brakes off. Right there's your adjusting nut. Next thing we want to do is take our caliper off. Get one bolt right here, 17mm. Then you're going to remove your line, 10mm. Pull your caliper straight off. Then your rotor. Now if you ain't replacing your bearings, be careful with them. You don't want to drop them. Alright guys, next thing we want to do is to remove these 6 bolts. They are a 14mm. get your rotor pulled off. Wanna get everything cleaned up. Now I'm gonna pack these bearings down with fresh grease. So I'm gonna try to wipe a lot of this old grease out. If you have any rust, you wanna knock any rust down with some sandpaper. We'll take our new rotor, set it down on there. Put your bolts back in. Now they're going to torque to 39 foot-pounds. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, now you want to wipe off most of your old grease. Get that cleaned off. Put on some new. After you get your grease put on, grab your rotor, your hub assembly, and it slides right on there. I'm reusing my bearings. So I'm gonna get them good and clean. Get you a good amount of grease. Work in it. You want to try to get it packed in there as good as you can. Slide your bearing up in there. Grab your shim. Place it back in there. Line it up. This is your adjusting nut. You want to put it on there. Tighten the adjusting nut to 43 foot-pounds. And be sure to turn it a few times. And then you're going to loosen the adjusting nut until it can be turned by hand. Okay, I'm turning it with my hand. Use a spring scale, which we do not have, so we ain't going to be doing that. Retighten the adjusting nut to 18 foot-pounds. Okay, that's 18 foot-pounds. Then install the lock washer and lock nut. See how it feels. If it's too tight, you might have to loosen it up a little bit. But if you got any movement, you need to tighten it up a little bit more. I'm actually going to tighten mine up just a tad bit more. Just make sure you don't have no play. still got a little bit of play. You just want to tighten it up till all the play's gone, and it can still turn pretty free. Okay, that feels good. So now you're gonna put your lock washer on. And then your lock nut. You're gonna tighten this lock nut to 33 foot-pounds. Okay. After you get it tightened down to 33 foot-pounds, you need to take a hammer and a screwdriver and bend your tabs back over on your locking washer. After you get your tabs bent in, you can go ahead and reinstall your adapter. It'll only go on one way. Grab your bolt, go ahead and put it in. Tighten that down. Then put your cone-shaped inserts back in. Put all your lock washers back on. And put your nuts on. And then you want to snug them down. Those don't have to be crazy tight, so don't get carried away on them. You just want to snug them down good. Then we're going to put our lockout back on. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on mine. Keeps them from freezing up. Then you're going to install your lockout. It just slides in. Grab your 10mm, snug them down. Okay. Now once you get that done, we're going to put our caliper back on. Then before you put your caliper on, you want to make sure all the grease and stuff's off your rotor. And you're going to tighten your caliper down to 90 foot-pounds. Okay guys, after you get your line on, you'll obviously need to bleed your brakes. But I'm not going to do that right now because I have to have somebody help me. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to take these pads off and change them. To change your brake pads, you'll get this little clip right here. I'm just going to pull it out. You get a new one. You're going to slide your pins out. But before you do that, you're going to take a screwdriver, or preferably a pair of vice grips, and stick right here and pull your pistons back in. Or you can take a screwdriver and, easy push it in. Do it on both sides. And after you get them pushed in, you'll see you'll have a gap. You'll know they're pushed all the way in. Then you want to slide your pins the rest of the way out. You want to get your pads and slide them straight up. They come right out. And if your pins are rusty like mine are, you want to take a piece of sandpaper and knock all that rust down. I'm going to cheat a little bit though. I'm going to use a drill. A piece of my sandpaper. So you want to take a pen. Just going to clean it off real good. Now once you get all that rust off your pins, they ain't gotta be perfect, just knock the big stuff off. You wanna take some brake lube and put a little bit on your pins. Don't cake it on, just put a thin layer. Now after you get your pins lubed up, slide your brake pads in. Grab your top pin. Line up your pads. Slide your pin through. Then you want to grab your anti-squealer or anti-rattle, whatever they call this little spring. You want to go ahead and put it in. Your pin's going to slide through the center of it. Put it in just like that. Grab your second pin. You're gonna slide it through. Sometimes your bottom pin is hard to get in because of this spring. Just be patient with it. It'll eventually go in. Just like that. Now, if your pinholes don't line back up for your retainer spring, just grab you a small pick or even your old spring. You're gonna grab it and turn it to where it'll line up. Just like that. Then you're gonna grab your retainer spring, take your pin, put it in the top, put it in the bottom. You're gonna grab it, twist it, put it back through. Just like that, you done a brake job on your Toyota. And don't forget to bleed your brakes if you had the line off. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. See you on the next one.